21st, I am having my second meeting with Somali businessmen in Djibouti on the 21st, to be followed by a meeting with former military, those who have not engaged in the civil war. All of this is not easy given the widespread skepticism among Somali and within international community each time we speak about Somalia. More than in Sierra Leone, than in Gambia, than in Liberia, Mozambique, Angola, even Congo. What is requested today from all is to free the hijacked peace agenda and take a leap of faith. I think the peace agenda in Somalia is hijacked. Hijacked by us foreigners, hijacked by Somalia. We have to fight to create a coalition to free this peace agenda. We put so many conditions, and I would argue that Somalia has passed the crossroads. It is on a one-way street now, and we have to keep moving forward because the only alternative is regression, to continue the state of anarchy and misery of the past 20 years. That is simply not acceptable to Somalia, not to the region, and it should not be to the international community. Its price for Somalia, the region and the international community, has already proven to be high in suicide bomb and in parasite. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ahmedou, for those reflections. We do have a few minutes for questions, and our speaker has agreed to answer them. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Smart, for co-sponsoring this. Ambassador, you said in your speech, you asked rhetorically, how can we convince that peace is more profitable than war? You didn't answer the question, but I want to ask you again yourself. Will you be able to send to the Security Council that we need war crime tribunal in Somalia because today the war makers are convinced war is more profitable because the next negotiation they may have the upper hand. They are free to kill, to destroy, and to derail the peace. That's one question I would like you to ask. The second, sir, your good office has done a good job of negotiation, but you have made some mistakes, and I wonder if your office will own to those mistakes. Not long ago, you've said in Djibouti that the journalism in Somalia should stop reporting the massacres. You asked for a moratorium of reporting massacres. Will you explain that? Thank you.
He said that you had said that journalists should not report massacres. You want to take several?
Thank you, Dr. Smart.
My name is Dave Sheikh. I'm with March Group. I thank you very much for what you doing to Somalia. My question is, the last meeting we have in Washington, you said the UN going back to Somalia. Now we have a government, whatever it is. Did you plan to go back to Somalia? Thank you.
We'll take one more, and then, yes. So, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nuruddin Sati, former DSRSG Burundi. I had the privilege of following on your footsteps in Burundi. My question is concerning the issue of clanism. You have worked in Burundi with the issue of ethnicity, and you have worked in Somalia, the issue of, now there is the issue of clanism, that there was a debate in the previous session on this issue. How do you...
With the new government, and to see if they like it, if they say we don't want peacekeeping, things will go back to normal. Will you honor that? That's my question.
Okay. Put on your mic there. Just press that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, how to convince people that peace is more profitable than war. You know, we have someone we know in Washington who has written on conflict and money. You know, most African conflict, but I suppose everywhere else, when you have a conflict, there is always a money trail. In some countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, but also Congo, the money basis of a conflict was easy to identify. It was diamonds. It was so famous that even we had the movie Blood Diamonds. Okay, and in Somalia, whatever the situations, some people are making money on the conflict, you know, as in every conflict, but the cost, the suffering, first for Somali image, reputation as an individual, as a country, is such, and at the same time, the Somali business community is so competent, so successful, that I always wonder that if we have peace, what will happen from Djibouti to Durban, I think will be an area dominated by Somali businessmen, because they are active, they work hard, and even despite the crisis now, between Dubai, Mogadishu, and Eastleigh, this neighborhood where Somali live, it is like a stock market. You know, every day they fix the price of good, of the currencies and everything. So I always thought that with peace, there will be more money. And in fact, I was working with prominent African and Arab businessmen in many areas, in oil, banking, to see how to organize a meeting between Somali businessmen and these Arab, African, and some Western businessmen. On justice and reconciliation, press should not report the massacre. This, I remember very well how this happened. And it is not a place to elaborate on it, but I will speak shortly on it. I was in Addis Monday 2nd February, and Sheikh Sharif, the new government of Somalia, was there. And there was an attack on African troops. And I was with a veteran, competent, professional American journalist, Voice of America. I told him this attack is a diversion from what is happening. And it reminds like Radio Mulkolin. Some people took it immediately without checking with me, without checking with the interviewer, without reading them, and very professionally they publish it. And before they publish it, before they send me a letter to say what can you do, they made a press release. Ethically is very controversial. I cannot blame journalists. They live in a terrible environment. They are threatened. My generation have suffered from one-party system culture. But, you know, many people sometimes are mistaken with me because they think I'm looking for a career. I'm retired. I'm like my friend here. So this kind of blackmail has not worked. I deplore the death of journalists. I cannot accept it. But activism is sometimes not paying with me. Yeah. This is what I can say. I have well-documented background for freedom, defense of human rights. And I'm very happy now everyone is mentioning international justice, criminality. No one was talking about it before February 2008. And I'm very happy Africa Watch spoke about it today. Amnesty International make it public. And I encourage you to continue, because this is the role of, Somali have suffered so much, but it should not be justice of revenge. Somali should find their own way to have internal reconciliation with tasamuh, for pardon, like justice and reconciliation. They can go to, once again, Article 9 of Djibouti Agreement was very clear, justice and reconciliation. Who are we to impose which kind of justice? I know we can go through Security Council and ask for a specific resolution. Though Somalia has not signed Roma Convention, Security Council can suggest it. We can